My name is Sue, and welcome to Love and Tater Tots, and welcome to my backyard. Today we're going to do some work outside. It's gorgeous weather, and we're going to actually work on this ladder, and I'm going to end up putting it in my flower bed, and we're going to just redo this and make it into something nice that I'll be able to use to put some flowers on. And let's see how this works out and what creative ideas we come up with today. Okay, so join us as we go along. Hey, give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and let's get creative together. So this ladder is old and rickety, and it is definitely not something that I would use for climbing up to do anything. But it does have some good colors, some paint splatters, and some good additions there. And we're just gonna work on highlighting that. What we're gonna do is dry brush the white paint onto all the areas of it, just to help bring it out color-wise from the area where I'm going to place it next to the house. So we're gonna use the dry brush method. So let's see how this goes, and we'll continue on from there. Okay, so I have my paint. I just loaded my plate with some paint, and I have a little bit on my brush because dry brushing, you don't want a lot. And I don't want full coverage on this ladder. I just want to highlight it so it looks like paint splatters, but I want it to stand out from the dark color of the brick on my house where this is going to be placed. So I want it to stand out. So we're just going to take and dry brush this so that I get some highlights and the wood grain to stand out. And then you'll be able to easily see it and distinguish it from the side of the house, because it won't have all the brown that would match in with the dark red so easily. So we're just going to go ahead and get all this on here, front and back, and all the rungs. So let's go to it and finish this up. So I just did a simple dry brush on here. I did it kind of heavy because I did want it to be noticeable and not just a highlight. So I went ahead and did it heavy a bit, but I also wanted it to look almost like there were paint splatters. This was a painter's ladder. The lady I got it from called it a widow maker because it was so wobbly and she didn't want her husband to use it. So she sold it for just $1 at her yard sale. And I'm going to move on. I have some wood boxes that we're going to use to attach to each of these steps. So here's just a little glimpse at the idea that I had for this ladder. I have these wood boxes that a local craftsman had made for me. They're just regular wood boxes made out of some pallet wood. They're unfinished, so we are going to add a finish to those two. And then I have this other box here. It's a little different, so we'll finish that up also. And then up top here, I have the two metal cans, metal pails, that we will add a little finish to. I want to add some color to this to give these boxes a little color. So let's see what we come up with and get creative with them. So the first thing I want to do is give the box a base of stain so that I have something to work against. So I'm going to use a couple things. I have Voodoo gel stain here that I'm going to use, and I have Up in Smoke and Tobacco Road. One has a gray base and one has a brown base. So we're going to use these and give them a good base coat, and then we'll add a little bit of extra on them. So the first thing I'm going to start with is the Tobacco Road. Now I don't want to apply this right to the wood because it will soak in right to where that wood is at. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the stain right on my rag, and then I will wipe it on there so that it evens out the stain. If I would put this right on the wood, it would soak right in there, and you'd see the line that I had sprayed on there, that I had squeezed this and applied it. So we're going to add it to my rag. I had to shake it up really well. So I have it on my rag here. And now we're just going to apply it here and give it a good base coat of this stain. And there you can see, very nice. Now I'm going to put a little bit of the up in smoke on here also, just to give a nice combination of this. Let's see what this does, okay? Because, you know, what is it without a little experimentation, okay? So we're just going to add some gray, kind of give it a driftwood look, I guess, is what you could say. Great. So I'm going to go ahead and add the stain to the rest of this box and to the other one. So I did a custom mix-in because I want to accent these pieces with a little bit of color to make them stand out and just make them more attractive. So I mixed up some colors that I have. You know, I like to just experiment with what I have left, and it came up with this pretty bluish green color, which y'all know that is one of my favorites. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to paint a band around each of these buckets right where these ridges are. So we're just going to go around, and it's not going to be perfect. You know, nothing on this project is perfect lines. So we're going to go around these ridges and just add some color here. See, we're just adding a band of color to each of these cans, just right around the ridge. I think those colors will stand out good. Now on the boxes, I did add some tape so that I could do some lines across the front. So this brush, I'm going to get all the excess out of it, and now I'm going to go make sure my tape is all the way down here across. I'm going to just lightly go on it and just put a line there. Now it's not going to be a solid line. It is kind of just dry brush so you can see through it. But I'm also going to take my brush and really make sure I get all that excess paint off of there. And I'm going to add some other line, some other color, just down across the bottom and the top, just to highlight those areas. So as you can see, I just highlighted along there, a little bit more here. Now, we're going to take this tape off, and I'll show you how it came out. Now you can see I have the bold line there, and I'm going to take my dry brush and just fill in along there so you know it's dry brushed in. So there you can see you have the solid line, but then we have the dry brushed color also, just to help accent it. Okay, so we're going to go along the top here. And I'm just doing this on the front of each of the boxes. Now, the next box, I have the lines like this. So let me just make sure my tape is good. And I'm going to get a little bit of paint, and we're going to fill in these lines just like this. Even up top. So then I have two prominent lines. Now, this time we're going to try it. We're going to take the tape off first. And then we'll do the dry brushing over the front with the lines exposed like that. So we're just going to take the paint brush. It's just got a little bit on it. And we're going to go across it, highlighting even the top here. And there you can see how it looks like that. Okay, so now we have two of them done. I'm going to take the smallest one. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to do the line. I moved the solid line up a bit, just to put it in a different place. We'll go over it. We'll make that line prominent. Okay, now we're going to remove the tape. And we will continue to just do the dry brush along here. Now these are just miscellaneous boxes that I had. Like this box here, I just found this at a yard sale this weekend. Paid $1 for it. Has the little legs on the bottom. So see how that turned out? Just adding some color to this piece, so that when it's in my garden area, we've got some color in there also. And we'll add some flowers to these boxes, and then I'll be able to show you what we have. So here's my ladder, all finished. I have the flowers planted, and I have the flower boxes on the rungs. So many pretty flowers to choose from. I hope as they grow that there's lots of color. Purple, pink, white, red. It'll take some time to fill in, but it'll be beautiful. Thanks for joining me today as we got creative with some things that I had laying around the house. I really just wanted to be able to create something that would add some height and color to this one area of my flower garden. So go ahead, take a chance, get creative, add some color, and just have fun with it. That's the most beautiful part of it, is having fun with just the things that you have around the house. So thanks for joining me. Give me a thumbs up, like my video, and go ahead, subscribe. Let's get creative together. Bye-bye for now.